So when you get to the bottom of this curve, you'll see there's a little point right here where the curve starts to turn this way. So right at that point, about 3/8 from an inch from the edge, you're gonna put a knot in. How do you put a knot in to make sure the thread doesn't go away? So we're gonna take a tiny bit of fabric, go through there, and then before the knot goes all the way through, you're gonna loop through. And that's gonna give you a tight knot. You could do it again to make sure that the seam holds. Like that. I'm gonna cut it. And then you can see on one side is my regular stitch. And what happens is it creates, through the back stitch, a much tougher stitch on that side. So this is the stitch that's gonna be, now it's gonna hold. Of course, the fabric, this thread is showing because I use a contrast thread, but I would use a white if I was doing this for somebody. Okay, so now we're gonna take our 2 pieces of mask and we're gonna open up the seams with our fingernails and we're gonna match them front side to front side. So I see, like this is the front side and that's the front side. The seam sides are on the back. And I'm just gonna put a pin in place to hold this. And then we're gonna match the edges. And they're gonna come together because they're all cut exactly the same. And we're gonna do that same stitch going all the way up here. Also, right where that little square triangle starts, follow the line of the fabric all the way through here, across here, and down again. Okay, I'm gonna do that now. So before we start sewing, I wanna tell you one last thing is you need to open the seams. You see how I've opened that seam there and I've opened the seam there? So it's gonna lay flat really nicely and I'm matching the seams to seam. And then when I'm going to do this long seam over here, I'm gonna start in the middle and go down one side, then I'm gonna start in the middle again and go down this side. And the top of this is more like a curve, it's not so pointy. So we're just gonna do like a little curve here. I'm gonna start here. So I'm almost finished with this and you can see it's more of a solid line on this side than this side because I was sewing like this on this side and then on the other side it becomes more solid. Now on this side I'm sewing this way. So it's just a saying that don't be alarmed if these look different. And you see there's a little bit of a curve. I didn't make it pointy, I made it curved. That actually goes over your nose. So I'm gonna finish this and I just wanna show you where you go to. You're not quite going to the edge. You don't need to go to the edge. Just go to like same distance to the edge and then we're going to tie it off again. Always when you finish, you're gonna make that knot so the thread doesn't go away, doesn't unravel. Okay, next thing I'm gonna make another knot is we're going to put the nose, the thing that bends around your nose. So what we have in the kit is these twist ties. And I find that to have enough strength, we need like 3 times. So we twist it, we make it into third, like bend it twice. And we're gonna go into this little area here. And right in the middle, I want you to just sew these 2 things down, these like little pointy parts. Put a couple stitches in here so that this metal part will stay until we can turn it over. So I'm just gonna do that and I'm putting knots in it. Okay, it's one side. On the other side. And this is just, for now, you'll see how we're going to secure it later. This is not the only time it's gonna be secured. This is just so we can flip it and it'll stay in place. Okay, and now we're gonna put, actually the most important stitch is the stitch that keeps the loops, the elastic loops in place. So I'm gonna go like maybe 1/4 of an inch or maybe 1/2 an inch from the base. And I'm gonna just start putting in stitches to make sure this guy stays down. I'm just gonna keep it, I'm gonna put like 10 stitches per elastic because this is where the greatest tension is, because this has to hold the mask in place around your ears. Okay, that's good for this one. I'm just gonna, again, give it a knot, go in there, maybe do another one, make sure it's secure, cut it, and then the same piece of elastic is gonna loop around, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on this side, again, about a half an inch from that edge. I'm gonna, again, put this on and secure it with a bunch of stitches.